Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video today, and today the Houston Astros come back to beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 5-4. And this win honestly wouldn't happen if it wasn't for the errors that the Pittsburgh Pirates made in this game. O'Neal Cruz had 3 of them. They had 4 errors in the game. O'Neal Cruz had 3 of them. You couldn't wish for a worse game than O'Neal Cruz. It's 3 errors. He goes 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. That's just brutal. I'm not hating on O'Neal Cruz. I think he's a great young player. He's killed the Astros in the first 2 games of the series. Looked really good in the first 2 games of the series, but that is a brutal game. 3 errors and 0 for 4 at the plate with 3 strikeouts. That is brutal. But great win for the Astros, 5-4. But those errors really helped the Astros out in the third inning. Well, the second and third inning, because the Astros in the second inning were able to get a runner on. Jeremy Pena reached base, and there was a pass ball, overthrown ball by O'Neal Cruz that got Jeremy Pena to second base. So Pena reached second base on an error, overthrown ball by O'Neal Cruz. John Singleton was then able to move Jeremy to third base on a ground out, and Jeremy Pena was able to score on a Woodford wild pitch to make it 4-1, and that was the first run that was scored off of an error by O'Neal Cruz, and that was an unbelievable play by Jeremy Pena as well. When he scored off of the wild pitch, that was crazy. And I've seen him do some crazy things with his speed. I've seen him, score on plays from first base where it's like, how the hell did he do that? The speed he has shown this year has actually been really incredible. But this, I don't even know how he scored on this wild pitch. It wasn't that wild of a pitch. It was, a couple feet away from the catcher. It wasn't that bad of a wild pitch, but Jeremy still scored on it. And it was I think one of the bigger reasons why he was able to score from third base was because he had the anticipation that it was going to be a wild pitch. Great call by Jeremy right there. And he was able to score as well. So that was a gutsy move by Pena. But, great win for the Astros, 5-4. But they were able to score that first run off of errors. And then O'Neal Cruz made another error where McCormick scored on a throwing error by shortstop Cruz. Alvarez safe at first on fielding error by shortstop Cruz. So it was a double error. Alvarez was safe at third on error. And then Yanner Diaz drived him in right after that. So the Astros scored 3 straight runs off of the errors. And the Astros lose this game by 2 runs if it wasn't for the O'Neal Cruz errors. With it being the end of the month, I do want to do something special. It's the last day of July. This was the last game of July. It's past 12 o'clock, so it's officially August. But with this being the Astros' last game of August, I want to go over some players who had a dominant month of July. Now, look, I'm not saying that these are the only players that had a good month of July, but I'm gonna go over some of the players I picked out that had good performances in this outing. In this game for the Astros. So this is not me saying that there aren't other players on this roster that had a great month of July, because there are. But I picked 4 different players that I wanted to talk about what they did in the month of July and the impact they made and how good they were, just because they had a good outing today. But let's go over it. I'm gonna start off with Yanner Diaz. That is very important. Yanner Diaz, in my opinion, has felt like you could make the argument that he is the best offensive catcher in baseball. In the last 2 months, not just July, but July and June, his batting average is .348. But let's go over his July numbers. So in the month of July, 101 at-bats, 34 hits. He also had 6 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs, 18 RBIs, 4 walks, only struck out 18 times. His batting average was .337. His on-base percentage was .355. So he had some great numbers in the month of July. Now let's go over to some of the pitchers I wanted to talk about. Let's go over the Astros starter for today. Framber Valdez It wasn't a clean outing today against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He pitched 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 10 strikeouts, 0 walks. Look, I view it as if you ask me, a good outing for Fromber. I know it started off rough with giving up 4 runs, but at the same time, he's still got the win. He pitched 6 innings. He did give up 4 runs and gave up 6 hits, but he still got 10 strikeouts. So it wasn't the best outing by Fromber, sure, but it was a good outing if you ask me because he got the win, which is his 10th win of the year. He got 10 strikeouts, back-to-back outings with double Ks, and also went 6 innings and only gave up 6 hits, and also didn't give up a walk in this game in 6 innings. But I want to go over his month. I want to go over his month of July because he was fantastic in July. He had 5 starts in the month of July. He got a win in 4 of those 5 starts. The only start he did not get a win was July 20th against the Seattle Mariners in Seattle. And I think the Astros, I think they won that game, but I'm not sure on that. No, I don't think they didn't win that game against the Mariners on July 20th. That's my bad. But his record was 4-0 in the month of July. His ERA was 2.90 in the month of July. 5 games, 5 stars. Pitching 31 innings, gave up 28 hits, 10 runs, 10 earned runs, 2 home runs, 9 walks, which is pretty good. And he had 40 strikeouts. That's good for Fromber. 40 strikeouts in 5 starts. That's 8 strikeouts per outing. We've seen 20 in the last 2. For a guy who gets a lot of ground balls and doesn't get, I'm not saying he doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, but strikeouts not very high with strikeouts. 40 is pretty good for him in 5 starts, which is 8 strikeouts a start. Now let's go to 2 bullpen guys who pitched good in this game, and that is Brian Abreu and Ryan Presley. Both of those guys pitched the 7th and 8th inning, didn't give up a run. I'm going to go over what they did in the month of July. Starting off with Ryan Presley. Presley was great in the month of July. Presley pitched 9 games. His ERA in the month of July was 1.0. He only gave up 1 run in the month of July. His ERA from the start of July till the end of July. At the start of July, his ERA started at 4.01. His ERA at the end of July is 3.46. He pitched 9 games in July. He pitched 9 innings, giving up 7 hits, 1 earned run, one run. He gave up only 3 walks, which is pretty good for him, and 6 strikeouts. So not a lot of strikeouts, but same time, Presley did great in the month of July. You can look at guys like Taylor Scott and Ryan Presley, probably the 2 best pitchers to come off the bullpen for the Astros in the month of July. And now the final one, Brian Abreu, was fantastic in the month of July as well. In the month of July, Brian Abreu pitched a lot of games, 14 games in the month of July, and he had a 1.93 ERA. In the start of July, his ERA was 2.90. His ERA now is 2.70, so it didn't go down a lot. Like, it didn't take a jump like Presley's ERA, but still took a jump. 14 games, 14 innings pitched, giving up 12 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs. Also, 1 hit batter, 6 walks with 20 strikeouts. Strikeout machine. So those are the 4 players I wanted to go over with their months of July because those 4 guys right there, absolutely fantastic in the month of July. Let's get into this game. 5-4 final score. 9 hits for the Pirates, 4 for the Astros. This offense wasn't that very good in this game. Like I said, the errors helped the Astros get this win with 3 runs in the 2nd and 3rd inning off of errors. 9-4 hits is like I already mentioned. 4 errors for the Pirates, 2 errors for the Astros. Neither one of these teams in this series were clean defensively at all. A bunch of errors in this series. The Astros got to work on that going into the next series against Tampa Bay. They're going to have Yusei Kikuchi on the mound, making his Astros debut. And why I mention that is because with him on the mound on Friday against Tampa Bay, series opener, Yusei Kikuchi's a guy, just like with Framber Valdez on the mound today, is a guy who gets a bunch of ground balls. I think his ground ball rate's like in the area of 36 to 41. So just like Fromber, he gets a lot of ground balls. I think you're going to see the same thing. So I need to see these. You need to see the infield a little bit more clean because there were a couple errors today. Which at the same time the Pirates had 4. Loss goes to Holderman. He's 3-2 on the year now. He pitched 1 out and he gave up a home run to Mauricio Dubon. And so 1 hit, 1 earned run, 0 strikeouts, 0 walks. Win goes to Framber Valdez. He's 10-5 on the year now. He pitched 6 innings. He had 6 hits, 4 runs, 10 strikeouts, 0 walks. I know some people might be upset about Framber giving up 4 runs, but I still think it as a positive start. He gets the win. It's his 10th of the year. He goes 6 innings. He doesn't give up a single walk. He gets 10 strikeouts. Sure, he does give up 4 runs, but I think that's overshadowed by the team still getting the win and him getting the win as the pitcher. Him not giving up a single walk, him getting 10 strikeouts, and him going 6 innings. So I'm fine with Framber. But it was a little bit rough for a second. Save goes to Josh Hader, his 21st save of the season. He gave up 1 hit, but had a strikeout. So pretty positive for Josh Hader. Score over the scoring summary. Joey Bart with a home run to left center, 407 feet. De La Cruz scored. Former Astro, Brian De La Cruz, the Astros traded him to the Marlins for Yimi Garcia. Yimi Garcia actually was just traded to the Mariners, funny enough. But and they actually brought up Yimi Garcia in the broadcast either today or yesterday or something like that. But I don't know about Joey Bart. He's been doing pretty solid this year with the Pirates and had a 3-hit game today, going 3 for 4. Don't like players having success against the Astros, but Joey Bart's a guy I like. I mean, he was a top prospect for the Giants and didn't work out in San Francisco, and I always wanted to see him succeed outside of San Francisco. He was a guy I really liked when he was coming up, but he's really turned his season around this year in Pittsburgh, and that was his 7th home run of the year. But 2-0 after that, then Triolo doubled to center. Hayes scored. It's 3-0. In the second inning, McCutchen singled to right. Triolo scored. It's 4-0. Went over the wild pitch where JP scored in the second. It's 4-1. Then went over the third inning. McCormick scored on throwing error by shortstop Cruz. Alvarez was safe at third. Was safe at first, and then was able to get safe at third on the errors by Cruz, and it's 4-2. Then Yander Diaz in the third inning hit a double to center. Alvarez scored 4-3. If you ask me, I think right now he's the best offensive catcher in baseball. Like I said, in the last 2 months, has a batting average of .348. It's been spectacular. 4-3 after that. And how about Mauricio Dubon? I can't believe I haven't brought it up yet. But 2-run shot for Dubon in the 6th inning. Homer to left center. 399 feet. Yander Diaz scores. It's 5-4. Game winner for the Astros. Obviously, they had to play the other innings, but that was the game winner for them in this game to cap off the 4-0 comeback. That has to feel great for Dubon because looking over guys' stats in the month of July, and I checked this after Dubon hit the home run. Dubon had a terrible. Well, I knew this already, but I just didn't know the exact number. Dubon had a terrible month of July. It was terrible for Mauricio. Before that home run, batting average was like 144 or 148 in the month of July. Batting average in the month of July with that home run goes up to 160. We're talking about a guy who his batting average still this season is 270. So he's had a great season, but this was his worst month of the whole season. So I'm hoping that the home run for Dubon in that 6th inning that helps the Astros get this win, I'm hoping that builds some confidence for him to have a good month of August. Astros definitely need it after losing an outfielder in Joey Loperfido. And so that could lead to more playing time for Dubon. And I think that was huge for him. And I'm excited to see what he does in the month of August because he was terrible in July, absolutely terrible. But a home run to left center gets the Astros the win, 5-4. Score the Astros hitting. I mean, the hitters, it wasn't a lot of noise. It was a 4-hit day. Altuve went 0 for 4. He is struggling right now. Bregman went 1 for 4. He had single to center in the first. Jordan Alvarez went 0 for 4. He almost had a deep fly in the first inning, fly out to center, and Michael A. Taylor made a spectacular catch in center field. Absolutely amazing catch. And I'm not 100% sure if it would have been a home run if Michael A. Taylor doesn't make that catch, but it was definitely going to either be a RBI double to score Bregman or a home run. Which, funny enough, Yordan Alvarez did not have a extra base hit at all in the month of July at Minute Maid Park. All of his extra, or not extra base hit. I mean, I think he had a home run or two at Minute Maid Park, but he didn't have any he didn't have any doubles at all in the month of July at Minute Maid Park. So yeah, that's a little bit of an interesting fact. But Alvarez was able to score a run in this game, but still went 0 for 4. He got on base because of the error in the third inning. Yanner Diaz went 2 for 4. He had half of the Astros hits. He's like the whole offense right now. 1 run scored, 1 RBI. He had a double to score Alvarez in the third. He had a single to left in the sixth. Great day for Yanner Diaz. JP did go 0 for 4, but he was able to get it safe at first on throwing error by shortstop Cruz, safe at second on error. And that led him to score a run. So unbelievable play by Jeremy Pena, scoring on the wild pitch. That wasn't really that. It wasn't that far of a wild pitch. So unbelievable play by JP. And then John Singleton went 0 for 2, but he was replaced by Dubon. Great decision by Joe Espada because Dubon would hit a 2-run shot in the 6th inning. Jake Myers went 0 for 3 today. Victor Caratini, first time playing DH for the Astros this season, went 0 for 2 with a walk in the 7th. Trey Cabbage would replace him as a pinch runner, but did not have an at-bat. Chas McCormick went 0 for 1 today, even though he had, he had a couple unofficial at-bats. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. He struck out looking in the 5th. And in the 7th, he sacrificed to third to get Cabbage to second base. And he scored a run. Not a bad day for Chas. I mean, obviously he didn't have a hit, but he got on base in the 3rd inning. He did strike out in the 5th inning, but he sacrificed to third to get Cabbage in scoring position in the 7th to try to build the Astros 1-run lead. Pitching, I went over Framber Valdez and Josh Hader, but let's go over Abreu and Presley. Abreu pitched the 7th inning, didn't give up a hit, a run, or a walk, didn't have a strikeout, but impressive, got the inning done in 9 pitches. Ryan Presley did pitch in the 8th. Unfortunately, he does give up 2 hits and takes him 20 pitches to get out of the inning, but he doesn't give up a run, a walk, and he didn't have a strikeout. But still, did give up some damage with 2 hits, but there weren't any runs out of it, so all good. And then I already went over Josh Hader. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros win in the comment section. Astros are back at number 1 in the division with a Mariners series loss to the Mariners series loss to the Red Sox. So that's great for the Astros. Astros have the day off tomorrow, and then we will see the Astros debut of Yusei Kikuchi. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you like what you see, push the subscribe button. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Astros.